welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we are going to do our July recap of what books I read in July. Since we are now officially in August, I wanted to do a wrap-up video of what books I read in July. I did do my July TBR, so what I read for that month is gonna be in this video, and I want to share my thoughts and opinions and my ratings on all the books I did read in July. This is not all of them, but these are the physical copies I did read in July, along with I think one book on my Kindle that I read for the month. But I thought we would just get right into this, and I'm so excited to share my thoughts and ratings with you guys, and I cannot wait to talk about these books because I did enjoy all of them. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. Okay, I do have my computer too to look at all my ratings that I did for these books this month, well, last month in July, because I wanted to make sure I was sharing the right stars and all the books that I did read for July. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so the first book I did read for the month was called The Perfect Couple by Elin Hilderbrand. This was our book club book in July, and I actually really enjoyed this book. I think I gave it a 4-star rating out of 5. There was no spice in it. It was a mystery thriller book. It was basically about a girl that was getting married and her maid of honor got murdered. Well, they think she got murdered, and so they're trying to solve that mystery, if she did or not, and just kind of what happened to her maid of honor. And there's so much secrets that go on with all the family members, including the bride and her fiance. So there's just so many secrets and a lot of mystery and kind of suspense to keep you going. And little fun fact about this book, it is actually becoming, I think, a Netflix movie, or no, or is it Peacock? It might be Amazon. I get them mixed up, but it's gonna be on one of those streaming services. But it is coming into a movie, and I'm actually kind of excited about it to see what it's gonna be like, just because I did enjoy the book actually by Elin Hilderbrand, and it was my first book that I read of her. So I'm definitely going to be reading more of her books, but this was The Perfect Couple by Elin Hilderbrand, and yeah, rated it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book was Beach Read by Emily Henry. I enjoyed this book so much. It is about Augustus and January. They are both staying in Michigan for the summer, and they're both in a reading slump. Well, not a reading slump, but a writing slump, and they just kind of figure out their writing style again and start hanging out. It is a contemporary adult romance. It is so good. I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. I think there might have been a little bit of spice, but not hardly any spice in this book. But also the cover is really cute too. I think this was the perfect summer read, especially for the beach or laying out by the pool. But I really enjoyed it, and I loved their character developments of Augustus and January. I think Augustus is one of my favorite book boyfriends that I have read and enjoyed, so he's definitely gonna be on my top list as my favorite book boyfriends. But yeah, I thought this book was really cute. I loved learning about each character and their relationship and just their own development in general, and them figuring out getting back into their writing and learning more about themselves as well. Okay, I had a phone call that came in as I was almost done talking about this book, but anyways, like what I was saying, I really enjoyed this book. I highly recommend this book. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. It is just one of my favorite Emily Henry books of all time. Happy Place will always be my number 1, but this is definitely a second, and then People We Meet on Vacation is my third. So that is where I'm at with Emily Henry, but yes, again, highly recommend this book by her. Okay, the third book I read in July is The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. I rated this a 5 stars. I enjoyed this book so much. It was so good, and it was my first Nicholas Sparks book I have ever read, and I did basically almost cry reading this book because of the ending. And I should just assume, obviously, that I was gonna be crying in this book just because every Nicholas Sparks book is sad, but it's just so good. But it's about a girl, Maggie. She's got cancer, and she is trying to enjoy the holidays with her cancer, and a guy, a guy shows up and just meets up with her and starts working for her, and she tells her story of her first love, that when she moved to North Carolina when she was 16. And it was just so good. It's very sweet, and I loved hearing Maggie's story. It was just so good, and I do highly recommend The Wish by Nicholas Sparks. It is one of his newer books, so highly recommend it. And then I read The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I rated this a 3-star. It was not one of my favorites, unfortunately, that I read in the month of July. It was a fun read, but it was just, what I really put was, it was cute, easy, and quick book to read. But it's basically about a girl named Meredith. She's gonna be at a vineyard over the summer, and she's trying to get over her sister's death and enjoy her cousin getting married. And her longtime boyfriend splits up with her and does not come to the wedding, and they play a game in the wedding that's like water gun games. That's a tradition they do every summer, and she gets attracted to the groomsmen of the wedding, and basically a relationship connection there. It's just a contemporary young adult romance book. It was cute. That's all I really have to say about that. It was cute and it was easy. You could definitely get through it in no time. But it was definitely not one of my favorites, and I don't know if I would read it again, but I still would recommend it because it is just a quick, easy summer read that you can enjoy to read over the summer. So that is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walters. And then the next book I was going to be reading for July was, hang on, let me find it because I don't want to say it wrong. Oh, Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I was going to read that book in July, but for some reason it was in the queue on my Kindle Unlimited, so I decided just to wait on reading it, and then I read Kingdom of the Feared instead by Carrie Manscalo. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but this is the 3rd book of the Kingdom of the Wicked series. It is a trilogy series, so this is the last book in that series. I enjoyed this book. It was one of my favorites. I enjoy the series in total, honestly. It's not a disappointment. It got me back in my fantasy read for sure. I think I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. But I enjoyed it, and I don't want to give too much of a spoilers because it is the 3rd book in the series, but it's basically following King Wrath and Emilia the Witch again in the storyline, so that just kind of goes along with that. But all I can really say is, like I said, it got me back in my fantasy read, so I definitely enjoyed this book. And it made me pick up another fantasy book after I finished this, so highly recommend the Kingdom of the Wicked series. This cover is just so cute, and I got it for a good deal at Books A Million. Funny story is that I bought this book first before I even bought the first book, because I originally thought this was the first book of the series, and then I looked it up and it was the 3rd one, but I just couldn't pass it up because it was such a good deal at Books A Million. So yeah, I love this, and I ate this up and highly recommend the series. Especially, it's a good fantasy starter as well if you are wanting to try to get into fantasy. So again, recommend Kingdom of the Wicked. Overall, I would rate that trilogy a 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I think the first book is definitely my favorite, and the third. The second one was slow, but it was still good. But the first and the third one are definitely my favorites. So that is Kingdom of the Feared by Carrie Bascolo. But yeah, so that is all the books I read in July. That was just kind of my recap of all my July reads. I wanted to just finish it off since we are now into August. And my last video I did upload was my August TBR list, which I am already enjoying my August TBR. It has been so much fun to read. I'm already on my second book for this month, and I cannot wait to talk about these because it's already off to a good start, and I cannot wait to continue and then give my ratings and feedback on those as well. So definitely stay tuned in for that at the end of August, beginning of September. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't read any of these books yet, I hope you guys will add this to your TBR list down the road, and hopefully one of these books interests you guys as well. Yeah, like I said, they're just so fun. So I hope you guys found an interest in these. If you guys have read any of these, comment them down below as well, and let me know your thoughts and what you rated these books as well. I'm very curious. I love hearing everybody else's feedbacks and thoughts about books I've read. And if there's any book recommendations you guys would love to share to me, please comment those down below. I always enjoy getting new book recommendations to see what books I could read out there. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content. And as Harry Styles says, treat people with kindness, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.